Hey, folks! Laura Owens, the serial pregnancy scammer, now indicted, for a while now, 14 felony indictment, and she doesn't stop. She does not stop. Her latest victim, a YouTuber called Hey Rob, she filed an injunction against him for harassment because he covers the case and he happens to be local. Yeah, he is currently residing in Maricopa County. So that is what she has put her aim on now. She filed this injunction, taking words out of context, describing herself as, I don't know, Virgin Mary herself or something. But Hey Rob will not go in silence. He got himself an attorney. And for you who wonder, how can he afford that? I mean, he barely 1,000 subscribers. Well, me included, had fundraisers for him. And we gathered $3,000 to cover his, at least his initial legal fees. Now, he got himself attorney, Matthew E. Kelly. And this is the reply. Let's see here. Let's put myself up here. Arizona Superior Court, Maricopa County, Laura Owens, plaintiff versus Hey Rob. Motion to quash injunction against harassment. Hearing requested. Because they know Laura Owens, as the moment she is confronted in court, she falls apart. Pursuant to RS, Arizona, Rule 38 of the Arizona Rules of Protective Order Procedure, Article 2, Paragraph 6 of the Arizona Constitution and the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, defendant Hey Rob moves this court for an order quashing the injunction against harassment issued in this matter January 20th, 2026. So they waited. When did they file this? February 6th. So Friday. If you're watching this in a month's time, well, he filed it just days later, luckily. Defendant submits this motion contemporaneously with his request for hearing. This motion supported by the following memorandum of points and authorities. Introduction. The injunction should be quashed because it represents an attempt by the defendant in a highly publicized criminal case, Laura Owens, the plaintiff here, also known as serial pregnancy scammer Laura Owens, with 14 felony indictments, including but not limited to perjury, tampering with evidence, and what else was it? Yeah, a bunch of things. To retaliate against and suppress the speech of an online commentator who's made statements about her criminal case that she simply do not like. Plaintiff Laura Owens is facing 14 felony charges. I should have just kept reading. 14 felony charges, including perjury, forgery, tampering with evidence, and identity theft. For allegedly, she's not convicted, it's still allegedly, lying and falsifying records to support false paternity allegations against two men. Yeah, those are the two men in Arizona. There are at least two more that we know of. There will probably be more before this is over, but maybe not all from Arizona. lying and falsifying records to support false paternity allegations against 2 men, including former star of the reality television show The Bachelor. That would be Clayton Eckert. See Indictment State v. Owens. Yep. A copy of which is attached hereto as Exhibit A. Given the subject matter and the involvement of a celebrity, the criminal case against Owens has gained widespread attention both in Arizona and worldwide. Worldwide, that's me. That's me. This is footnote 1. See Miguel Torres and Julia Moore and People magazine, I believe, people.com. I'm a bit bummed out they left me out there, but hey, you can't have everything. Defendant, hey Rob, has been following the Owens case, including by attending public court hearings and obtaining public court documents, and has discussed the case and his opinions about the matter in live-streamed conversations with his audience on YouTube. To be sure, he has been critical of Owens' conduct and skeptical of her assertions made in court and outside of her criminal prosecution. But his live streams are commentaries about issues of public concern that are fully protected by the Arizona Constitution and the First Amendment. And contrary to Owens' mischaracterizations and outright fabrications of what Hey Rob actually said, nothing in those live streams meets the criteria of ours, paragraph 12/1809. Not only was his speech not directed at Owens, it was publicly posted online for the world to see. It did not contain any threatening or harassing statement that would support entry of an injunction that punishes and suppresses his speech. In short, Owens has not met her high burden to show that Hey Rob speech has lost its constitutional protection and the injunction should be quashed. Factual and procedural history. After an intimate encounter in 2023 with former Bachelor star Clayton Eckert, Owens claimed she was pregnant with twins for the fourth time in her life, apparently, against Eckert, and filed a paternity action against Eckert, who denied paternity. At the conclusion of the case, the trial court awarded Clayton Eckert nearly $150,000 in attorney's fees and costs, finding that Owens filed the claim without basis or merit and had provided false testimony. Owens was subsequently charged with 7 felony counts related to the Eckert case, and in November 2025, she was charged in a superseding indictment with 14 felonies. 5 counts of perjury, 3 counts of forgery, 2 counts each of identity theft and fraudulent schemes and artifices, and 1 count each of tampering with evidence and theft extortion. Oh, I can't wait for that trial to start. Hey Rob is a YouTube content creator who posts videos and hosts live stream conversations about several different topics, including Owens' unsuccessful paternity lawsuit against Eckert and the criminal charges that followed. By the way, folks, go subscribe to Hey Rob. I will link it in the description and I will pin it as a first comment. Where was I? He is just one of many people who have commented online about this high-profile case. Ta-da! On January 20th, 2026, Owens filed a petition for an injunction against harassment, naming Hey Rob as the defendant. A copy of the petition is attached as Exhibit C for ready reference. The petition requests an order prohibiting Hey Rob from possessing firearms and requiring Hey Rob to stay away from Owens' residence, work, business, and school other. And, quote, to stop targeting me to... Wait. to stop targeting me through harassment or surveillance, including monitoring or commenting on my location, travel, or court attendance, encouraging others to impersonate me. Nobody can impersonate you, Laura. We just make fun of you. Impersonation involves that we respect you enough to be impersonated or determine my whereabouts, and making sexualized or threatening statements about me. Nobody's sexualizing you because you, Laura, you claim to be pregnant via a blowjob. If respondent attends court, require him to remain a reasonable distance from me and have no interaction. Hey Rob has had 0 interaction with Laura Owens. 0. Much of the petition consists of Owens complaining about alleged comments by Hey Rob or his viewers that expresses skepticism about her representations to the court in her criminal case and predict that she will be convicted and go to prison, or that use vulgar terms referring to her. For example, Owens asserts that Hey Rob made sexualized and coercive comments by merely mentioning his proximity to her while he was observing public court proceedings. And petition at 5 and casts as a threat a statement that her quote-unquote day of reckoning is coming, referring to her upcoming trial. Owens asserts there that Hey Rob encouraged his viewers to impersonate her and locate her real-time physical whereabouts. Laura, in the California case, you claimed that you couldn't attend that hearing because you were more or less dying and bleeding out of every orifice. And then you were caught just 2 days after the hearings should have taken place, as at a horse jumping show, competing. So yeah, every time you send some documents to court asking for travel, we make fun of it. Because you deserve it. Blah, 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 in a discussion speculating that her purpose for a court-approved trip to California was to participate in a horse show. Yeah, because you have done it before. In conjunction with attending a sick relative, as she told the court in her criminal case. Much of the petition misrepresents what Hey Rob actually said. In his declaration attached as Exhibit D, Hey Rob explains that many of the statements attributed to him do not appear in the video recordings or transcripts of the live streams. Oh no, Laura, did you lie again to the court? Owens alleges, for example, that at 16 minutes 31 seconds to 37 seconds of a live stream titled 0272 Trial LO v MM Travel Granted, Hey Rob said, I'll effing bitch slap her through the phone, through the camera, whatever I can get to her. But nothing of the sorts appears anywhere in the transcript of the video. In the segment, Owens cites as evidence that Hey Rob encouraged his viewers to impersonate Owens. That's not illegal. Hey Rob discusses Owens' January 13th, 2026 motion in her criminal case to allow her to travel to California, which the court granted. The court should be more careful with their travel approvals. Hey Rob reads a written comment from a viewer that says, recall up all the horse shows in California this weekend and pretend to be LO And say you want to confirm your attendance at the competition. That way you can find out where she will be. Hey Rob comments, that's a fair way to do it, right? And we know all the names, and you're not causing any trouble. You're not influencing anything. You're not talking bad. You're just using your First Amendment rights to find out some information that's public knowledge anyway. He then suggests attending a public horse show to see if Owens is there, and potentially purchasing professional photos or video of the event that are on sale to the public to demonstrate her attendance. On January 20th, the day Owens filed a petition, Court Commissioner Lindsay Coates granted it in part, ordering Hey Rob not to contact Owens, not to go to or near her residence, and not to encourage anyone to impersonate or make contact with plaintiff. Injunction at 1-2. Hey Rob was served with a petition and injunction on January 26. This court should quash the injunction because Owens has not shown and cannot prove that Hey Rob engaged in harassment as defined by the statute, and because the injunction impermissibly restricts Hey Rob's constitutionally protected speech on issues of public concern. In brief, Owens' allegations in this civil matter are no more reliable than the claims in her unsuccessful paternity lawsuit against Mr. Eckert, or her various statements that gave rise to the state's criminal indictment of her for perjury, forgery, and the like. Arizona law allows for injunctions where the defendant has engaged in harassment, which is defined as a series of acts over any period of time that is directed at a specific person, and that would cause a reasonable person to be seriously alarmed, annoyed, or harassed, and the conduct in fact seriously alarms, annoys, or harasses the person and serves no legitimate purpose. Here, folks, the legitimate purpose is online commentary on a high-profile criminal case and the other cases before that. That's the legitimate purpose. It's not that hard to understand. And personally, this would cause a reasonable person to be alarmed and that thing. Laura Owens is not a reasonable person. She has faked, that we know of, 4 pregnancies in order to get a man to stay with her. All of them twin pregnancies, all with, in my opinion, faked evidence. Rs 12-1809. Andreev's, Hey Rob's commentary on Owens' criminal case does not remotely qualify as harassment under the statute. First, although Hey Rob's videos are about Owens, they are not directed at her. Even according to Owens' own allegations, Hey Rob never contacted Owens, either directly or through a third person. Hey Rob's declaration affirms that he has never communicated with her. The law's requirement that the harassment be directed at the plaintiff means that statements made to others do not qualify, even if the plaintiff becomes aware of them. They are citing here. In Lafaro, the plaintiff political activist obtained an injunction against a Tempe City council member who allegedly called the activist a bigot, fascist, homophobe, and Nazi. In a conversation with another person the plaintiff happened to overhear. Even though the activist overheard the comment, it was not directed at him, and thus did not support an injunction. So too here, that Owens can, like anyone else with an internet connection, view Hey Rob's video commentaries about her, does not mean those commentaries are directed at her, and she cannot be harassed by them as a matter of law. Second, as was the case in Lafaro, Hey Rob allegedly offended Owens by mocking and criticizing her using purportedly vulgar and sexually charged language does not transform his commentary about her criminal prosecution into harassment. As the Court of Appeals observed, quote, in public debate, our own citizens must tolerate insulting and even outrageous speech in order to provide adequate breathing space to the freedoms protected by the First Amendment. And then another case here, Snyder v. Phelps, Rogers v. M. Ross. Insults and invective such as those Owens accuses Hayrob of saying are simply not harassment under the definition of the statute. To be sure, Hayrob's seeming endorsement of pretending to be Laura in a phone call to determine if she was attending a horse show as well as helping a sick relative was unwise, but it was not threatening. No one would have any reasonable expectation of privacy in their attendance at an event open to the public, so even an improper attempt to determine their attendance would provide no more information than could be gathered by anyone else at the event. Hyphened, Owens does not allege that she actually attended any horse show, that Hayrob or any of his viewers actually impersonated her, or that she was followed or menaced by anyone. Third, Hayrob's speech serves a legitimate purpose. Speech about a closely watched criminal prosecution in which Owens is charged with 14 felonies. The videos about which Owens complains are commentary about issues of public concern, which, quote, occupies the highest rung of the hierarchy of First Amendment values and is entitled to special protection. Rodriguez v. Fox News. Because the videos related to matters of, quote, political, social, or other concern to the community, end quote, they serve that legitimate, constitutionally protected purpose. The statements encouraging investigation into whether Owens was attending horse shows, for example, served another legitimate purpose. Discussions of whether a criminal defendant had misled the court in obtaining permission to travel out of state. Finally, the injunction is unconstitutionally overbroad because it prohibits protected speech under the Arizona Constitution and the First Amendment. It would bar Hayrob from encouraging his viewers to impersonate Owens by portraying her in a satirical skit or dramatic recreation of her alleged crimes, for example, which is clearly unconstitutional. See? Oh, here they go. Hustler versus Falwell. That is a landmark case because in the scene in the movie People versus Larry Flint, in Hustler magazine, there was an article portraying Falwell as a very, very despicable person. Now, Mr. Falwell himself claims he is more or less the second coming of Jesus. He's so pure and everything, which brought it to the question, would a reasonable person believe what was written in Hustler magazine? And the answer to that was no. No reasonable person would look at Mr. Falwell and believe that. It was satire. Let's go back. It would prohibit him from encouraging his viewers to have any contact with Owens, even constitutionally protected contact, such as sending her non-threatening or even supportive letters or emails. Folks, don't send Laura anything. She will just put it in the casita on top of dog poo. As the Arizona Court of Appeals have said, the test for whether an injunction, such as this one, that restricts speech is constitutional, quote, is whether the challenged provisions of the injunction burden no more speech than necessary to serve a significant government interest. And this is from Lafaro. Injunction prohibiting politicians from any contact with political activists unconstitutionally prevented politicians from engaging in in-person political debate. The injunction fails that test. Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, defendant Rob respectfully requests that this court enter an order quashing the injunction against harassment entered against him in this matter. February 6, 2026. Respectfully submitted, the Ballard Spar LLP by Matthew E. Kelly, attorney for defendant Rob. So yeah, Laura Owens is at it again. She tries to silence people in any way, shape or form she can. Folks, it is up to us to prove her wrong. Rob is already doing it. I am doing it by reporting on this. And you guys can tell Laura Owens, not in person, but send her the message by thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, go subscribe to Hey Rob, and with that, give your permission to us to keep mocking her, telling her she's a cahoot, she's a fraud, she's a scammer. And that is an opinion I base on court records. All right, folks. That is what I had. Thank you for listening in. Until next video or stream, you all have a good one. And remember, hug your family. Unless your family's shit, then screw them and give your love to the people who deserve it. Okay? See ya. Bye-bye.
Laura's got a secret, don't wanna tell. She spins a wild story, sets sail without a sail. Fake baby bumps, she's got tricks up her sleeve, but the boys see through it, they just can't believe. Oh Laura, 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 what did you do? Play and pretend just to make it through. The boys fight back, they're standing tall. Laura's big surprise is no surprise. Points her finger, you're the bad guy now. But truth's got legs and it's taken a bow. Her plans unravel like a thread on a spool. Life's not a game and you're breaking the rules. Lies and lawsuits, so what a show. The justice is coming, it's starting to grow. You can't win hearts with tricks or a fight. The truth shines brighter than a starry night. Remember, don't twist what's true. Life's much better when you just be